Hey Scott, how's it going? I gotta get something. Hold on. Yeah, I'm doing okay. That's right. It's Saturday. You're on tonight. I'll be joining in. I'm just doing a little quick maintenance on um, these Magna Traction cars. Gonna race tomorrow at Steve's, and I've been working on a set of Magna Traction IROC cars. I've already done these two. I polished them up, polished all the metal, took them all apart, cleaned them. These run pretty good. I'm going to use these bodies. They're a little heavy, but I think it'll be a challenge. But these run pretty good. These are not your run-of-the-mill Magna Traction. These have mean green arms from Jag. You know, for a while, Jag sold this whole motor plate for pretty cheap. I think it was less than $10. It's a 6-ohm motor. They run really well. And these have level 7 Viper magnets for the Magna Traction, which are about twice as strong. They're still not very strong. I mean, stock Magna Traction magnets are pretty weak if you measure them on your downforce meter. These, I think a stock car comes in at like 14 on my downforce meter. I think this comes in around 30 with these better magnets. Just gives the car a little more handling. It's a lot more drivable. So I don't have a red body, but I think my buddy Brian, who's going to be racing with us tomorrow, I believe he has a red body. And these are kind of beat up. I bought these used. You know, they got kind of chips in them. Perfect for racing. So blue, white, and I got a yellow one. I don't know if do they make a red one of this? I don't even know. I don't think I ever found a red one. No, these are not from Terry. These are just from, you mean these bodies? I just bought these off eBay a while ago. They were cheap. I got like the whole lot of them because they were damaged. Who else has joined us here? Let me look back on the chat. Sorry. Snuggy, what's going on? Hey, the dude. Hey, Carl. Hey, Gary. John, Mike. Thanks for joining. I think that's everybody. Rick, how's it going? So, yeah, this car I'm just about done with, and then I have one more to do. I'll do that with you guys. I didn't think you guys wanted to watch me do 4 Magna Traction cars, so plus I have to work on my other cars, my Vipers and my Super 7s. I haven't touched my cars in a while, and I think they all need a tune-up and a cleaning. Putting these steam pickup shoes on can be a little bit of a challenge to not send this stinking spring flying. I managed to get that one on pretty good. Nah, see? Stupid thing popped right out. Of course, now that I'm on camera, nothing will go easy. See? Again, you guys know how that goes. I know Scott knows how that goes. The minute you try to go live, all right. That seems good. I'm going to take this for a quick lap. Ooh, I lost a tire. These are reproduction tires that I also bought off eBay. They're like the stock skinny Goodyear. They're pretty good quality. They don't say Goodyear on them, but... And these are, these tires are from Viper. They're for Magna Traction. I think they make the car a little bit lower. I have no idea. I don't even remember what size those tires are. Wow, that car was pretty fast. I'm gonna have to look at this car later because there's something not right with this pickup shoe. It's kind of stiff. I think it's the joint here. I think it's kind of... I don't think that shoe is sitting right. Yeah, this is much better. Yeah, I don't like the way that is. This one feels okay. I'll revisit that later. Oops, sorry. See you, Scott. Yeah, Mike, I have those Jag 1500s. Actually, I have them in... Well, here. Hold on. One of these has Jag. All right, so this is a completely stock car, except the tires. Stock magnets, and that's pulling 19.5 with the stock magnets. The Pro 7 magnets, yeah, they're like 30, 32. This is pretty good actually for a stock car. Usually like around 14 or 15. That one was 19, so that's 32. One of these has the... Yeah, this is 51. This is the 1500 Jag. I thought they were a little too strong, actually. I didn't like how strong they were. So I did not get more of them. I think I bought a couple of pairs of those Jag magnets just to test them out. So these should all be around like 30. 32, 29, this one's coming in at 25, so I think between 25 and 30, I guess. I like the level 7s personally with the like a 6 ohm, like a mean green arm. Even the level 7s with a stock arm, like a red magnet, not magnet, sorry, a red wire arm. They run good. Yeah, I don't want to have to trim the spring. It shouldn't have to trim. There's just something's not right with these pickup shoes. It feels like it's just like binding at this point here where the shoe goes in. So, but these are new springs and magnets. Hey Adam. Hey Adam, you remember this car? Did I get this from you or Scott? I think I got it from Scott. I can't even remember. I know you like those Porsches. All right, let me tear this car down real quick. This last one. Just want to give this a quick cleaning. And then I'm going to start on some of my other cars. But I'll show you what I do for a quick maintenance on my Magna Traction cars. So, yeah, that's kind of dirty. There's definitely some oil in here. Take these brush springs out. I'm not going to give this like a super duper cleaning. So these level 7 magnets have like a little red mark for the red side and a little white mark so you know which direction you're putting them in. Interestingly, the Jag 1500s, only one of the magnets has a white mark on it, and you have to put the white mark in the back, actually. I'm gonna just clean this up a little bit in here with a Q-tip. I like to push these down a little bit just to make sure I got good tension on the brushes. So I kind of push both those down. I use my little cleaning wheel that I use on my pickup shoes to polish this all up. Does a pretty good job of getting all the oxidation off. Particularly, I focus on where the pickup shoes hinge clicks in there. Try and clean that up good. And where the springs sit. These magnets look kind of dirty. These magnets fit in pretty snugly. I mean, you could shim these magnets if you want, if they're loose, but these don't really move around much at all. Gonna look under my light real quick just to see if there's any gunk in the axle, like hair and stuff. Just pulled out some. I remember the days of when I had my track on the floor. Oh my God, the amount of hair that would get stuck in the when I had my AFX track on the living room floor. The amount of hair that would get in the axles, especially my wife's curly hair. Whew. Literally, the cars would stop. There was so much hair wrapped around the axle. That looks pretty good. I'm just checking around all around the axle. Since I have this open, I'm gonna put a little dab of oil where the axle goes through the chassis, the rear axle, and also a little dab right there and right there where the front axle is. Gears all look good. Hey, William. I don't know if anybody else snuck in. Auto World cars don't. Yeah, they probably come with hair already in them. Gary, I have no idea what gear ratio is on these cars. I'll be honest with you. It's all stock. I've never changed the gearing. I don't even know if you really can change the gearing if anybody makes. But I really don't know. I mean, you got 2 gears in here. I have no idea what the gear ratio is. I don't even know what the gear ratio is on that crown gear. Sorry. God, look how dirty my hand is. It's a dirty car. Maybe somebody knows. All right. Gonna do a quick and dirty. My method of cleaning the brushes, I just rub them on a paper towel like so, and you can see it's pretty dirty. Alright, that looks good. These springs don't look too dirty. These springs are fairly new. I had replaced both the pickup shoe springs and the brush springs on all these cars a while ago. Alright. Having a little coffee with my AFX mug. That's good. That is Kirkland Pacific Bold. All right, so for the armature here, I usually wipe it off a little bit just to get started, and then I use my same tool on a lower setting, and I just kind of very lightly, so you can see it does a pretty nice job of cleaning these plates here. I barely put any pressure on it. You want to be careful. You don't want to hit any of the wires, that's for sure. Like where the wire attaches on the end there. Alright, that looks pretty good. Take a Q-tip and kind of polish this all off. And I take a little pointy tool and just run it down each space between these comm plates here, just to make sure that there isn't really any debris in there. So we have a nice clean looking motor. Since I have this out, I'm going to try and get a little dab of oil all the way down. I like to put some oil down in there where the post goes through the motor plate. And I also put a little dab of oil in here while I have it out, because it just makes it easier. Alright. Taking a Q-tip and cleaning in there where the brushes go. Alright. Just try not to lose any springs. Alright, got our brush springs in there. That looks pretty good. Now the motor, you have to hook these two hooks down in, so I usually go in from the top and then down, and hopefully I don't move any of the brushes around. That looks like that went in okay. Put a little oil here. Put our clip back on. Feels pretty good. I'm going to clean these pickup shoes real quick. You can see some arcing there. Some black spots on them. Where the spring was touching the underside of this pickup shoe. Probably not a good thing. And I am by no means an expert on these pancake motor cars. I know enough to keep them running okay. It's not really my area of expertise. Though I do like the Magnetraction chassis, because it was my chassis from my youth when I was a kid. Yeah, see that pickup shoe feels good. It's smooth. There's definitely something weird about how tight this car is. I'll look at that later. This car is fast though. When I ran it on the track, it was really fast. But I could tell it didn't handle too good because there's way too much tension on those pickup shoes. Whoa. Amazing. I got it in without making the spring come out. both times. All right, so there's our freshly cleaned up, oiled. Last thing, put a little dab of oil. Probably most important to get a little dab of oil right there where the motor post comes through. If you start to hear your car squealing, usually just put a little oil there. Let me run a few laps with this real quick. Yeah, this car runs good. Car runs really good. The yellow car is good. Gonna be a good one. They all run good. All right. That's it for my Magna Traction segment of the show. Alright, I want to take a quick look at my two box stock Super 7s. I'm just going to clean up the pickup shoes, give them a little bit of oil, because we'll probably run box stock tomorrow at Steve's house. Alright. I put the little double-sided tape in here to hold the body on, so when it crashes, our club runs the stock Super 7, basically the base Super 7, the non-CNC front. So this is the cheapest Super 7 that's available on HC slots. I think it's like the $34 one. It has a non-balanced arm. It has the level 6 magnets, not level 10. You are allowed to change the hubs and the tires. I have 248 hubs on here with these stiff red tires. Brings this thing down to like a 416. So pretty low in the rear. It definitely sits low. Because the front are the stock, like 384 I think they are, or something like that. Anyway, I'm just gonna give this a quick cleaning. Polish pickup shoes. These shoes are not that old, so they don't need to be replaced. We'll run this car tomorrow probably. I think this is the little bit better of the two cars that I have. I'm gonna oil the bushing in the back there. So you got to take you got to pop up the magnet clip, but I got to look under my light for a second. But the bushing's down in, well, I could show you. That bushing right there. See how this axle looks. Looks pretty clean. It's definitely got oil on it. A little dab of oil in the axle. You're not allowed to pin the rear axle in our class, so no axle pinning. So if you pop your rear axle out, you're in trouble. You have to rely on well, for club racing, you'd have to rely on the lane marshal to pop your axle back in. When we race with our call buttons, it's fine. If I crash, I always check, make sure the axle didn't pop out. Tires seem good. see what this thing does on the old dyno. Not bad. 404. I'll take any stock Super 7 that's in the fours is a decent running car. All right, so that car is ready for tomorrow. There is a purple and white one. A purple and white. You mean the Porsche? These? What do you mean purple and white? I have a white one. I'm not sure what you mean by... Oh, purple and white. You mean the car is purple and white combination? Is that what you mean? Is it a white body with like the purple centerpiece? Is that what you're talking about? All right, let's do the same thing with this car. My buddy Ralph painted this for me. I asked him to paint it a bright purple color. That's how it came out. Looks pretty good, I think. All right. Just want to give this car also some oil. About hitting 4 as well, so that's 2 decent running cars for box stock class. I might run a little bit softer tire, maybe the green tires that I have. Actually, I think I am going to set up one of these axles. These tires look like they've been through a few races. I'm going to put a fresh set of greens because these are obviously brand new tires that I put on this car. Just realized I didn't oil the front bushing of this car. Guys are awfully quiet in the comment section. Hope you guys aren't bored. I know you're just mesmerized, right? When I raced last weekend at Ralph's, this got knocked over. This was on the garage floor. It was a nightmare. There were parts everywhere. I was not happy. I still think Ralph has a few pairs of my tires somewhere on his garage floor, but there. So now we got one rear end set up with green, and one with red. We'll try them in both cars. We'll see which one runs the best. This blue chassis usually handles it. It sits a little bit better than this car. It sits a little more level for some reason. Don't know why, but because they're the same hubs, same size rear axle, and same size fronts, you would think they would sit the same, but this car clearly sits lower in the rear. Who knows? All right, that's it for box. Hey, Barry. All right. Let me take a look at my. I'm not gonna mess with my Fusions because I really haven't run them a whole heck of a lot. I do want to show you how fast this Fusion is, though. Oops. This thing's almost hitting 5 with a Rondo advanced timed arm. Thing is blazingly fast, this car. Really, really fast. The 21 tooth crown gear helps, gives it more top end, but still that's a fast car right there. If I can keep it on the track, I'll be in good shape. I'm going to be going out to Vero because our next club race is at Vero in 2 weeks. So not this weekend, but next weekend I'm going to be out at Vero. I'm going to race for a little bit at my buddy Ralph's house, and then he's about 25 minutes from the Vero Beach Hobby Shop. And I'm going to head over to Vero and test some of my cars on that track at the hobby shop, that whiz track there. But I want to look at my Vipers because these I've been running quite a bit. I haven't done any maintenance on these things. The dude, it depends. Which tires? Do you mean the silly sponge tires or the slip-on silicone or both? because the super stock class runs the silicone coated sponge tires. These I can actually get quite a few races out of these, assuming I don't crash a lot. The same thing with these tires. The more you crash, the more the tires can get chipped up. And I'll be honest with you, when I race with my club, I always put I just put a brand new pair. Whatever car I decide to race in a spec racer class, I always put a new set of tires on. That's just me. And then I'll reuse the tires on the weekend when I race with the guys. Like, these are obviously not new tires, but they're in good shape. You can get quite a few races out of these, as long as they don't get chipped up. You know, these are hard tires. These hold up pretty well, these red tires that I get from my buddy Brian. They don't chip too badly. If you guys ever race the Viper Albinos, you'll be familiar with a tire that chips horribly. These are pretty good, but if I see the tire starting to get chipped up or worn around the edges, usually it's one tire, depending on the direction the track's going. One tire gets chewed up more than the other. So I don't know, it's kind of, you know, up to you really. Hopefully that answers your question. But since the silly sponge tires are not cheap, you know, these are $10 to $12 a pair, and I don't, you know, once these wear out, I just toss them out. I try to get as many races as I can. You know, once the silicone starts to wear off, obviously, and if the car is not handling as well, then it's just time to kind of, you know, these tires are all brand new. These are Holy Rollers that I got from Pastor John. I like these Holy Rollers. I like, in particular, I like these yellow and orange ones. No problem. Enjoy the game, man. Thanks for stopping by. This car I actually tuned up. You could see it's all cleaned up and polished. Actually, I cleaned all the pickup shoes. But this car, I think this car is running pretty good. Yeah, this thing's pretty fast. 460 almost. This is definitely my fastest V3. This is a rondo arm, wound arm. These cars, I think, are closer to the 4.3 range. Yeah. These are Wizard arms. The Wizard arms take a little, you know, they kind of ramp up and get faster as they go. The Rondo arm, man, the minute you put it on there, it's just, it's up to top speed. Yeah. But I would like to take a look at these cars and just check the brush tension and see how the brushes are looking. I haven't serviced these in a while. One of these cars, I think it was this one actually. This is the car I actually ran at the last club race where I came in third, where I made the podium. It was actually with this Wizard on. The only reason I ran this car is because it was set up better and it seemed to stay on and handle better. This car was faster, but it wasn't the right height, so. But I've since made some lower rear axles even than what I ran at the last race. I'm running 412. These are 410s, and this is 412. I'll probably run 412 or 410 at the Vero. The Vero rails are not super high. My buddy Brian ran 410 and he came in second. He edged me out by a lap, actually. I think I was running 414 at the last race, but I'm hoping this car is going to run well with the 412s. 410's a bit low. Definitely not going to run 410s at Steve's track. Steve's rails are tomorrow, or his rails are on the higher side. He's like he's like 1.4, 1.5, even higher in some spots. Actually, you can see this happened the last time I raced at Steve's. His rails are so high they actually etched my magnets. Anyway, let's I'll have to figure out what I'm gonna run tomorrow height wise on Steve's track, but probably either 414 or 412 depending on the car. You can recode them. I don't, though. You got to know what you're doing to really make them round and be good. It's not something I care to invest in figuring out. I can afford to just buy them if I need to, fortunately. So. It is a shame that I just throw them out, though, because the hubs are good. I should ask. I don't know. I don't know if Holy Roller, if he would want old tires. I don't think he would want the old tires back. I think he just uses new hubs. That does seem a waste to throw them out. This end bell, this is one of the gold-plated end bells that Viper and Wizard have. This is a new end bell, actually. There's hardly any wear on those brushes. So I probably didn't really need to take this car apart. That's right, I forgot I built this not too long ago. Could use a little more attention on this bottom brush, though. Sorry, I know I'm not showing this, but I gotta look under my light, but I'm just tweaking right where the, if I could ever get my stupid thing to focus, right where the arm is tied down there. I just kind of put some pressure to, yeah, that's good. I like to set mine up so that the bottom of the brush, when I move this one down, the top arm goes down to the bottom of the opening of the bushing. And if I move this one up, that arm moves up. And these brushes, these end bells definitely lose tension. So like after a race, I tear my car down. There's like, sometimes there's no movement at all in the arm. I'll send you some, Gary, once I get some worn sets. If you want to shoot me an email with your address, markslotcargarage@yahoo.com. Hey, Slightly Mad. Fox and Wolves. I run, depending on the track and the chassis, These are, I think, 418s. I usually run 418 or 420, sometimes 416. And these are 340 hubs. I think these are 350, so that's a little bit wider hub. So I like to try the different size hubs, just to see which one might handle better. The Fusion opaque chassis, you can go lower. It just kind of sits higher off the rails for some reason compared to the blue one. These are 420s. This might be 416. It's either 416 or 418. One of these is 416, one of them is 418. What I'll do is I'll just kind of swap all these rear. I have a whole bunch of different other silly sponge rear axles made up in my parts bin that I'll just kind of swap through with different gearing. These are 20. I use either a 21 or a 22 tooth gear usually. Yeah. All right. This armature is not that. This is not that dirty actually. I think I had worked on this car not too long ago, so I'm just going to put this one back together, and we'll go ahead and take this one. This one I haven't serviced in a while, but this one, yeah, this one's not. Doesn't really need anything right now. It's got a new end bell. Actually, the brushes still need to break in a little bit on this end bell. I've been running 7-tooth Pro Predator pinion gears from Wizard. They mesh pretty well with these quicker ground gears that I've been using on my V3s. So again, you want to make sure your rear bushing is in where it should be. Make sure so you can see how the tabs on the end bell are sitting on top of the pickup shoe hanger. So you want to get in the side there, kind of pry that forward so that the tab is behind the hanger. You don't want to push down with those tabs over the hanger, or you're going to shear those tabs off, and then you'll be unhappy with yourself. And I know, because I did it way back when, before I know what I know now. So these Wizard arms I run, even though these are an advanced arm, I don't know how much advanced. Wizard doesn't mark like how many degrees advanced this arm is, but I do advance the end bell as well. Gives it a little more pep. On the Rondo arm, I noticed if I advance the timing, it doesn't make a difference really. This car, I think, was 19 degrees advanced on the armature. I have this car in the neutral position. Usually the Rondo advanced arms, I leave my end bell in neutral. Some guys advance it even more, but the car can get hot if you get a little carried away with how far advanced you have everything. I'm going to give this a little bit of oil since I got it all apart here. Put my magnet clip back on. Oh wait, I got to put the magnets in first. That would be helpful, huh? Unfortunately, I don't. Oh, actually, I do remember which side was the stronger side. I put marker on it, so the side with this gray marker. And you can see I had this car set up perfectly where it's not putting a line in the magnet. It's just taking the marker off, which is what I want. I want the car to be just barely kind of touching the rail. Not too heavy on the rail, but so this car was set up pretty good. And again, high downforce mode, the side that sticks to that motor magnet, you want that to face the rail. And everybody's different. Some guys really like to be slammed to the rail and they're willing to risk their car getting hot, but I kind of like it just kind of touching the rail. And I like to set my car up so it's either a tiny bit high in the front or as level as possible when I look at it on my setup block. But yeah, this car feels nice and smooth. It's got a good gear mesh. Yeah, that car's running good. 430. Seems happy. Take a quick look at that one, and then I'll let you guys go. Been on for almost an hour. Do you glue your pinion gear to the arm? I do, actually. I use this medium CA, Zap-A-Gap. Seems to do well. And the reason I like these Pro Predator gears is they have a really snug fit. So even without gluing, I wouldn't be too worried about this gear slipping. But yes, I do. I'm paranoid that I'm going to slip a pinion gear. I don't ever want that to happen to me in a race, so I use a little bit of glue. I like this medium CA because it's strong, but it's, I could still pry that gear off if I need to. It's not like on there permanently. Yeah, I adjust for the track that I'm on. Most of my V3s, I have I'm a little high in the front. Some guys go lower on their V3s in the front, but I actually have 324s on the fronts of mine. Although it also depends on the front end. These are Viper front ends. The Wizard front hubs, I go a little higher. The Viper, I go a little bit the size or two lower. But I adjust until the car is level when I'm looking at it on my setup block. Now, you're talking about, very tiny amount when you're going from like a 412 to a 410. You're talking like 0.002 inches or whatever the heck it is. So it's hard to see with the naked eye, but I want to see the magnet level. Like I don't want to see a different space gap between the rear and the front of my traction magnet. Obviously I want to see good coverage on my pickup shoes as well, but so you could see there's a little more space there. So this car, like I said, I run mine a little bit high in the front. I don't know if you could see that, but the rail, there's a little more space on the motor magnet there than at the back end of the, when you're looking at it on the, I know it's hard to tell. Sorry. Wish I had a better camera set up, but So this is my lower rail. This is a 012 rail, and you can see there's definitely some pretty good space. And this is actually fairly level. Might be actually a tad low. You know, the magnets don't sit perfectly on either side, but and this is my 014 block. You can see that's almost like right on the rail, which is how I set up most of my cars. Just a tiny bit. This car was too low the last time I raced it at Steve. I think I had the magnets the other way. I think it was low in the front. When this wore, I think the wear side was actually in the front. I kept it like this because I think this is the stronger side of the magnet. So I was willing to live with a little bit of an etched magnet. Let's see. Yeah, this magnet got etched on both sides. Yeah. Thanks, Barry. But yeah, the V3 you could definitely go pretty low. I mean, if you're racing on a routed track like I do, 412, 414 is not uncommon. I probably would never go any higher than 416 on the V3 in the rear on the tracks I race on. If you're racing on a home track, AFX or Auto World, that might have much higher gear rails, you might have to go a little higher. All right, let's take a look at this end bell. See how she's looking. And I use I'm gonna try and set these aside the way I have them because I measure the surface of each side, and the side that's highest I put towards the rail, so I don't have to remeasure these. That wasn't good. That came right out of the end bell. It's telling me that there's probably not good tension on those brushes. That came out like that. Yeah, these brushes are definitely getting a little bit worn. It's probably about halfway used almost. And if you look at this, I mean, that's going down a little bit, but not as low as I would like it. So this end bell, I'm just going to tweak a little bit for tension. Add a little more tension back to it. We could still get several more races out of this end bell. Brushes aren't that bad. Comm's dirty, so we'll clean the comm up as well. All right. Oh, okay. Only good for 40 laps and then it burned up. Yeah, I have some BSRT G3s. I run those in my modified class with 2.3 and 2.4 ohm arms with level 10 magnets. My club started running modified last year. We don't run it very often, but I do have some modified class cars. They're very fast. I don't particularly like the modified class. They're they're crazy fast and they're hard to keep on the tracks. Even though they have strong magnets, they're not, for the strength of the armature, the level 10, it's not like they're Neo class or anything like that. So, all right, I am going to polish this calm a little bit. I'm going to use my little fiberglass little doohickey brush that I got off Amazon. I have to give a shout out to Steve at BS Slot Cars. He turned me on to this little brush here. It does a great job of, with very little effort, cleaning up your calm. These comms all look pretty good. If a comm gets really worn, it'll start having like concave, like it won't be level, so to speak. None of my armatures are that old where the comms are like that, but you could see that that polishes it up pretty good. I also take my pointy, I gotta look under the light, but I just run my pointy tweezers through the openings, make sure there isn't any debris or anything between the stacks. Alright, so this arm looks pretty good. Put my Teflon washer on, my metal washer. I usually use about 15 thousandths space on the top of the armature, almost always. I use a 10 thousandths Teflon and a 5 thousandths metal spacer at the end bell end of the armature. It usually places the brushes like right at the center of the comm for me. The rear spacing is different all the time, so whatever I need to do to get the space I want in my armature is how much space I'll use on the rear. Also depends on which bushing I'm using. I use a dual flange bushing, but I have some from RPMs and some from Viper, some from Terry, and they actually are a little bit different. So. Retweaking this end bell just to get the tension that I want back in it. All right. Also, you want the brushes to meet right at the center of the opening. This looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and put this back together. Hopefully I didn't make the car worse. All right. Pretty good. Might have been able to put a little more. I don't like my armature to I leave a pretty good amount of space, like 5 thousandths play in my armature. Some guys like a little bit tighter tolerance, but I don't. I like to make sure there's no chance that it's gonna bind in any way. Looks like I have a 20,000 spacer on the back of this particular armature. I'll just put a little oil on the bushings, put my magnets back in. These clips, when you're putting the magnet clips on, I put one side in the slot, and then I kind of, with my thumb, I wrap around so it kind of spreads out the, you don't want to break off that tab. So when you don't want to like push it straight down. Oh, actually it's interesting. This clip is actually broken. I wonder if that happened in a crash or when I was putting it on. That's not good. See that? That's annoying. Still works, but it's not. I'm going to put a different clip. Unfortunately, you can't buy just the magnet clip yet. At least I don't think so. You can buy just the magnet clip for the V1 chassis, but the V3, if you got to buy a whole damn new chassis if you want to get a magnet clip. I have a fourth chassis that I'm not using, so I'm going to take the clip from that one. Here I am telling you how to put the clip on without breaking it, and I have a broken clip. All right. That looks good. I also like to leave just, I want to see a little bit of back and forth play on my rear axle too. I don't want it to be any possibility that it, because the chassis flexes and stuff, so I don't want anything binding. I don't want my armature or my rear axle to bind, Yeah, that's good. 440. So that's definitely an improvement. Putting that a little bit more tension back in the brush arms. This car always sat well, this chassis. Yeah. This is on the 012 block. And the 014 block. I use the 012 so I can see a space and I can see how level everything is. Usually on the 014 it's almost touching, so it's harder to really tell, but this looks pretty darn level actually. Looks good. This car should run good. I probably won't run. This is a 410 rear axle setup. I'll show you guys. I'm gonna take it over to my, I think I've shown you guys this before, but in my main box, I have, when I go to race, I have all these axles built up. So I have one as low as 408. Got one with green tires at 416. Gearing, that's a 414. So these are all for my And this is another 412. So I have 4.8, 410, 412, 414, and 416. And then these are all different Silly Sponge tires. 414, 418, 22 tooth, 420, that's also a 22 tooth, 422, 418. So I have all these different rear end setups that I've already built that I can just swap in while you get a chance to practice before the race. These are all different size front tires, so if I want to go up or down on the front tires, I have as low as 312 all the way up to 355. These are some extra Silly Sponge tires, 416. These are actually just the tire. They're not on the rim. So I got some 420, 422s. These are just extra sets of tires. Those are my red. Those are new. Those are new greens. These are medium tires, and these are used tires. So if I have like a semi-used set, I throw them in here, and I use these on the weekend with the guys. If I need, if I chip up or damage a tire, I could put one of these on. But tomorrow I'll probably run 414 or 416 at Steve's house, because his rails are higher, so I'll probably have to swap out. I put little stickers in here so I know this car is 412 and both of these were 410s. And that's it. I think my cars are good to go for tomorrow. I'll probably go live tomorrow at some point at Steve's house. I'll bring my stuff with me so I can go live. And yeah, I'll chat with you guys tomorrow. If you guys join Scott later, I'll chat with you guys on Scott's show tonight. Looking forward to that. I think I missed the last couple of shows because I was busy. Tonight I got nothing to do. My wife's out of town visiting my daughter on the Tampa side, so I'm a bachelor tonight. So I get to eat what I want and watch what I want on TV. Who doesn't like that every now and then, right? Yeah, you got to get organized. All right, Gary, sounds good. Yeah, the thing with the sponge, let's see if I can find. So, when you get the tires from Holy Roller, the number 18 represents the softness of the tire. I believe the higher the number, the stiffer the tire. So I have no idea how he knows how much silicone or foam to put. 18. He recommended 18s for super stock class. So a lot of the tires. See, like this is 21. Since this is a lower tire, it's a little firmer. Yeah, I don't know how you would determine the softness of the tire, but unless that's determined by the sponge and then you just recoat the silicone, I have no idea. I have no idea how to make a Silly Sponge tire. But if you want to try and recoat them, I'll be more than happy. I gave my buddy Ralph some tires because he wanted to play around with that as well. But I'll be more than happy to send you some used sets. All right, guys, I am going to sign off and clean up here and go relax for a little while.
And I'll chat with you guys later tonight if you're on Scott's show. All right, everyone. Take care.